Hello, wonderful viewers, and welcome back. Whether you're a long-time follower or just stumbled upon our channel, we're thrilled to share another adventure with you. This time, we're diving into a story so chilling and twisted, it may blur the lines between reality and nightmare. Brace yourselves, for this tale could make even the bravest question what's truly real. This story is not for the faint of heart. Tucked away in Amityville, New York, stands a house that, from the outside, seems like any other. But its walls hold stories that have chilled the bones of those brave enough to hear them. This is the infamous Amityville house, a place where the fabric between our world and something darker appears to be incredibly thin. In 1974, an unspeakable tragedy struck at the very heart of the Amityville community. The house, seemingly quiet and unassuming, was about to be marked with a dark stain that would forever alter its history. Ronald DeFeo Jr., a young man with a troubled past, lived in the house with his family. But on a tragic night, something inside him broke. Overwhelmed by a madness he couldn't understand, he moved from room to room with a rifle. He took the lives of his parents, Ronald and Louise, and his siblings, Dawn, Allison, Mark, and John Matthew, while they were sleeping. Why did Ronald Jr., even with his known problems, hurt his own family so badly? Townsfolk whispered that perhaps the house itself was to blame. They speculated that the home might have cast a dark spell over its residents, driving Ronald to the edge of reason. The chilling tales spoke of shadowy figures seen pacing beneath the house's doorways, trapped between realms, haunting the living. The land itself, upon which the house was built, had its own tales to tell. Stories of a ground soaked in sorrow and secrets, and of times lost within the house's walls, where hours would melt into mere moments. When the Lutz family later moved in, hopeful for new beginnings, Kathy, while exploring the attic, stumbled upon a dusty box of old photographs. The images revealed past residents with their eyes violently gouged out. But among those photos, the attic also held an old radio, which late at night would come alive with unsettling static. Sometimes, if one listened closely, whispers from days long past could be heard through the noise. The very nature of time seemed fractured in the Amityville house. Rooms would turn icy cold, defying the warmth of the season outside. On certain nights, the house felt like it was trapped in a temporal loop, repeating the energies of the past, still clinging to the present. Disturbed by faint, disembodied voices, Kathy often felt these whispers echoed secrets of a dark past directly from the walls. There were times she'd catch herself lost in the trance of unfamiliar tunes, ones she never heard before. At other times, she'd gaze into mirrors, witnessing events from another era, as if the reflective surface captured snippets of time. Meanwhile, George Lutz, a pragmatic man, would jolt awake in cold sweat to find the clock frozen at 3:15 a.m., believed to be the exact time the DeFeo massacre took place, as if time itself was scarred by the tragedy. Their health began to decline inexplicably. The once energetic family members frequently felt ill, suffering from bouts of nausea, dizziness, and unshakable fatigue. The pallor of their skin, especially the children's, became a constant concern, and no medical expert could offer a clear explanation. The house, in its ominous manner, started displaying more bizarre phenomena. A greenish-black slime began to materialize on the walls and ooze from keyholes. This disturbing manifestation was accompanied by a rancid odor, which made certain parts of the house almost unbearable to inhabit. Their relationship began to strain. George and Kathy, once the epitome of love, now found themselves at odds. George became distant and irritable, while Kathy was often lost in thought, distracted by those unfamiliar tunes. Their youngest talked of an imaginary friend, Jody, a red-eyed, pig-like creature that no one else could see. On some days, Kathy would feel an invisible force grip her, leaving behind tangible red imprints, as though someone had tried to claim her. Their children were terrorized by spectral figures hovering near their beds, figures that vanished when directly confronted, but left a lingering feeling of dread. The stability of the house seemed to deteriorate as well. Windows, once securely fastened, would spontaneously shatter or fly open, letting in the chilling Amityville air. Doors suffered an even worse fate. Some were violently ripped off their hinges by unseen entities, as if demanding an unobstructed path within. Some shadows lingered near the stairs, sometimes moving quickly up and down, as if walking a familiar path, while others looked in through the windows, making anyone who saw them feel uneasy. There was a particular room, mysteriously absent from the house's blueprints, that seemed to shift its location, its door echoing with faint, ghostly lullabies. As the days went by, strange things in the house got worse. The fireplace would sometimes burst into aggressive flames without reason. Doors started slamming by themselves, even when all windows were shut. Sometimes, a bad smell, like rotting flesh, would fill the house, hinting at a presence that was neither living nor welcoming. The Lutzes, in a desperate bid to reclaim their home from the unknown forces that plagued it, invited a priest to bless the house. But as he began his sacred rituals, he was met with a chilling resistance. A sinister voice, cold and disembodied, cut through the still air with a dire warning. "Get out!" Even this man of faith, trained to confront and dispel dark energies, was shaken to his core, feeling an oppressive force weighing heavily upon him. Sleep didn't offer any relief, as their nights were filled with dreams of tormented spirits and angry entities. The final straw came one stormy night, when a series of chilling events unfolded. An unseen force seemed to grip the house, rattling its very foundations. Shadows danced menacingly on the walls, and for a moment, it felt as though the house itself was alive and angry. Realizing they were in a battle they could not win, the ordeal became too much for the Lutzes. With heavy hearts and a foreboding sense of dread, after a mere 28 days in the Amityville house, they fled in the dead of night, leaving behind their belongings, dreams, and a house that still stands to this day. The legend of what the Lutzes endured during their brief stay remains one of the most compelling haunted house stories ever told. The tale serves as a reminder that some homes, regardless of their external beauty, can harbour darkness and secrets that are far beyond our understanding. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you enjoy our content, it would mean so much if you subscribed and liked this video. Your support not only fuels our creativity, but inspires us to create more videos for all of you. See you next time, friends. Bye-bye.